up, you guys? This is Rob from The Gay Guy Plays, and today on the hit list, we're targeting the top 5 weapons that I think are worth Forma'ing the crap out of. Now, I bet you thought this series was dead and gone. In fact, I think for my newer subscribers, you probably never heard of this series. That just goes to show how long it's been since my last one. So, as many of you know, I am fond of overkilling weapons, aka putting lots and lots of Forma into them until I can jam in every last inch of pure modding sexiness. So, as a disclaimer, these are my opinions. Educated opinions that you would be wrong to disagree with in any shape or form, but they're just opinions nonetheless. Coming in at number 5, the Soma is a classic assault rifle that is definitely a grower and not a shower. While its base damage seems quite low, don't let it fool you, because alongside its substantial crit chance, this baby is packing one of the most deadly crit modifiers, dealing over 6 times the amount of its modified base damage when slotted with only a max rank vital sense. And to top it off, it's sexy as fuck. Now, don't get me wrong, there are downsides. I mean, this is at number 5 for a reason. First and foremost, tossing on every available critical chance mod still won't bring the Soma up to 100%. And while it sits at a hefty 75 with a max point strike, it's going to be doing its super crappy base damage 25% of the time. And it doesn't help the fact that this thing eats through ammo. I'll be honest, I refuse to run this thing without an ammo mutation mod installed. But that aside, it does come with 2 innate V polarity slots, so I'd say it's still fucking fantastic. At number 4, we've got some fresh meat with the ABARES. This thing is a beast of a weapon, capable of dealing 20k headshots on level 30 plus ancients with a single bullet, which is even more insane considering the fact that this is a burst fire rifle that shoots off 2 bullets at once, not counting multi-shot. It enjoys an above average crit chance that sits at 62% with a max point strike, and a crit multiplier that'll let you do over 4 times its modified base damage when you toss in a max vital sense. It's also innately accurate, making it feasible even at longer ranges. It edged out the Soma even with a slightly lower critical chance due to its high base damage. But don't get me wrong, this has its downsides as well. First off, yes, I'd much prefer a 100% critical chance, please. But to be honest with you, I'd be greedier than all those bisexuals out there to ask for that much. My main issue with this is the fact that it's a lever action rifle, and does require a bit of a boost in its fire rate. It also comes with absolutely no polarities, and for those of you who built this weapon, you already had to burn a Forma on it just to craft the thing. But I do still think that it's Forma well spent. Moving on to number 3, the ANthrax proves that while one is fun, a group is always funner. And look, our criticals have arrived. So, if you haven't already seen this, the ANthrax is a continuous fire rifle, very similar to the Synapse. Its base damage is electricity and combos extremely well in order to take advantage of your enemies. Weaknesses, that is. While this does have a lower base damage in comparison to the Synapse, it does have double the fire rate to compensate for it. In addition, its beam can jump from one enemy in the area to another, dealing insane area of effect damage. To top off all of the carnage, with a max point strike, the ANthrax enjoys a 125% crit chance, meaning that red crits are fairly common. Now, with the good comes the bad. The ANthrax is quite tough to get off the ground and doesn't really start feeling powerful until you're about 4 Forma in. In addition, low base damage and high fire rate always make up for an ammo-consuming monster. Needless to say, even on normal missions, you're gonna have to have an ammo mutation mod. In fact, the build on this weapon leaves little to no wiggle room, requiring a full crit build, ammo mutation mod, and any damage you can scrounge up to help offset its poor efficiency. Now, while all that seems a bit steep, that is the price you pay for such a shockingly good weapon. Now, sitting in the runner-up spot is the Paris Pride, and also the Dread, because frankly, I don't want to get involved in any crazy turf wars that this shit starts. It's like watching 2 drag queens go at it. It never ends pretty. Either way, both weapons are fucking fantastic. When charged, they both deal tons of damage, they break the 100% critical chance mark, enabling red crits, have physics impact to plow through a crowd of enemies, and innate punch through. The Paris Prime sports a better damage spread and slightly quicker reload, while the Dread enjoys 12.5 more critical chance when both are equipped with a max point strike. They also both come with 2 innate polarities. The Dread sports a double V, while the Paris Prime comes equipped with a dash and a V slot that really help ease the overkill process. So it's all amazing, right? Kinda sorta. My biggest issue with both these weapons is the acquisition. The Paris Prime is gonna take some farming in the void, while the Dread is dropped by the ever-elusive Stalker. Either way, you're gonna need to sacrifice a few babies to RNGesus in order to get your hands on either bow. The only other thing I can think of is the fact that it's a bow. If you're not a fan of bow mechanics like the charge or projectile arc, then this may not be the weapon for you. Just don't say that in the comments, I would slightly fear for your lives. Now before I unveil the number 1 primary weapon that I think deserves to be showered with Forma, let's take a look at a couple of the ones that nearly made the list. At number 8 is the Tetra, the perfect hybrid of the Corpus Dera and Spectra, while at number 7 sits the epic beast of the weapon, the Voltor Prime. Now, both are amazing weapons in their own right. Unfortunately, they did get passed over due to the fact that their projectiles do become a bit inaccurate at longer ranges, and don't help with their ammo efficiency issues at higher levels. Speaking of ammo efficiency issues, the Phage comes in at number 6. On top of dealing sizable amounts of continuous viral damage, it also has a fairly sizable status chance that synergizes well with its elemental type. The only downside is its odd mechanics. Some people love it, some people hate it. Personally, it was just a little too tentacly for it to make my top 5. Now, for those of you who know me, you probably knew this was coming. And I'm sure you're probably tired of me filleting the Penta, because it has seen the top of another of my hit lists before, but it is here for a very good reason. Now, let's start off with the basics. For any newcomers, the Penta is a remotely detonated Corpus grenade launcher. Not only do I consider it one of the funnest weapons to use in game, it also deals shit tons of damage. It's extremely ammo efficient, can easily clear out groups of enemies, has some very fun mechanics, and its blueprints are available in the market. On top of that, it synergizes very well with many Warframe abilities, from Decoy and Molt to Vortex and Absorb. And unlike many of the other explosive weapons, if you misfire, you may not instantly die, unless you pull the trigger at the wrong time. Now, it's not perfect. It deals innate blast damage, which isn't considered the best elemental combo, and is impossible to mod out. However, its high base damage does prove to be a good platform for other elemental combos. In addition, it does require some skill and attention to use. Depending on how they bounce off the surfaces, they may come flying back at you, and if you're not paying attention, it may just explode right in your face, which in this case is a bad thing. It also comes with no innate polarities, meaning that you will have to forma this thing from scratch. But with a little practice and a decent amount of forma grinding, you'll have yourself a weapon that will last you well into the more challenging levels of the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and don't think that this list or the builds presented are going to stay there forever and ever. As we know, Warframe is still considered in beta, so more changes and more weapons are sure to come. Now, thank you all for watching another episode of the Hit List. Be sure to check out the other previous episodes on the top 5 most entertaining weapons, as well as my top 5 favorite Warframes of 2013. So be sure to do the thing that I ask you at the end of every one of these, and as always, stay tuned for more programs that go away for a really long time, then randomly pop up occasionally, here at A Gay Guy Plays.